Hi, grades 3, 4, and 5 teachers. First of all, we want to thank you very much for attending our PD session on Wednesday, October 7th, and engaging in the activities that we had surrounding implementing a 3-act task. We really all enjoyed working alongside you and felt that it was a really productive afternoon. At the end of the session, you did fill out a feedback form, and from that feedback form, there was about 12 questions that we thought we would answer via video. So that's what we're going to do, and that's what this video is all about. So let's get started with question 1. Question number 1. How do 3-act tasks align with the need to prepare children for standardized testing? This is a great question. In a 3-act task, as you know, it's very important that students do not receive a lot of help or materials from the teacher. This allows them to practice their skills and understand and learn how to persevere through something. This is very similar to what they're going to experience on an assessment. During a standardized test, they are also not allowed or given teacher answers or materials. So this will help with those skills. Remember that during 3-act tasks, they practice a lot of math concepts and skills that they would be applying to regular questions or word problems that you give them. Except this added benefit is for them to help teach the skills to persevere. Let's go on to question 2. Question 2, what are some suggestions on how to better structure and wait time? So wait time, the simple answer would be to maybe count to 5 or 7 in your head before responding to the students. However, I think we need some clarification around this question. Is this a wait time specific during one of the acts, or is this wait time when the kids are kind of figuring out what do they know, or what do they notice, or what do they wonder? So if we could get some clarification on that question, we can certainly help you out. And I want to also just tell you that a lot of these questions are really great questions and would be great for Graham. And I would encourage you to put your questions on the Padlet that we have for Graham Fletcher, so when he comes on February 10th, he can answer them. What to do if children don't bring up the question or don't ask the right questions during Act 2 in order to gather the information they need to answer the question. This is great because we all know that this happens. So remember that 3-act tasks we implement so that kids can engage in a productive struggle, a productive math struggle. And we want them to practice mathematizing their world. And that's okay that they do this, that they struggle. If they don't come up with a question, Graham actually has some really nice tips on his implementation guide. And I'm actually going to take some, not directly read some of them, but take some of that information. You want to allow students, again, to go through that struggle. And you want, if their questions are way off, you can direct students to say something. You've generated some interesting questions. I'm not sure how we can answer those in class. Do you think there's a question that we could use that would allow us to use our knowledge in math to find the answer to, and then you insert what you want them to. If they still continue to struggle, you can also say, you know, I gave this to a class last year or earlier this morning, and say, here's some of the things that that they came up with that we should think about. And again, you want the kids to engage in that struggle, but those are 2 ways to help them, to lead them to the questions that you want. Is there a lesson plan template to do this? It's a great question as well. I'm going to go into our grade 3 to 5 math shares. So this is the folder. I'm going to click on that math shares, and I'm going to go into 3-act tasks. If you go into the 3-act task folder, you'll see the 3-act task lesson planning template. If you click on that, you'll be brought to the template. Please make sure that you make a copy though, so that nobody so that the template always stays intact. And so it's right there. Let's go on to the next question. Question number 5. Would this make a good goal this year? It absolutely would make a good goal this year. In fact, I actually came up, let's think how we could make it smart. I do think that it would be a better professional practice goal, since it might be a challenge to think about the student learning piece, but a professional practice goal would be great. And I spent a little time to think about how to make it smart and using the SMART, and I'll go over that now. One thing that you can do to make it would be specific is that you say, I want to implement blank number of 3 tasks this year. To make it measurable, you could keep a journal of the tasks that you do and include a reflection after those tasks are done about how it went and maybe how you would edit it, and maybe some observations, maybe some pictures of student work. How to accomplish this would be accomplished how? Could be accomplished along with my math coach. I'll plan with my math coach. You want to, by implementing the 3 tasks, hopefully you are going to be less of a help to students so that you can actually allow them to practice their skills of being good problem solvers. And then T, the time piece, you can say, I will implement blank number of tasks by April 2016. If you'd like more help on making this goal and putting it into the SMART formula, please again feel free to reach out to your math coach or myself for some help. Let's go on to the next question. How do kids record their work, and how do we share it with each other? It's a great question. I'm actually going to go again into our 3 to 5 math shares. I'm in our 3 to 5 math shares folder, and I go under 3 act tasks, and I go here to 3 act task student recording sheet. And this allows them to record their findings. So this is how they would record their work. Let's go back to the questions. Question number 7. Does repeating a task from the previous year take away anything essential? So this year we're really focused on just implementing them and getting them into the classroom. We want you to be comfortable being less of a help, and we want the kids to be comfortable with this type of learning and this type of questioning and this type of wondering, because it is different from how they have learned math in the past. So for this year, I wouldn't worry about if it's been done in the past. Going forward, though, the math coaches will be keeping track of specific tasks that belong in specific grade levels. Question number 8, when will I fit it in and how often? So this is always a question because we're always stressed about time. So this can be fit in before a unit to kick off a unit, in the middle of a unit, or even at the end of a unit. How often is really up to you and how much you feel comfortable. This should be implemented, could be every 4 to 6 weeks. We certainly wouldn't do one, this is not meant to do one every day, and probably not even one every week, but you want to implement how you feel comfortable. So I would say somewhere between 4 to 6 weeks, or if you're a little less comfortable, maybe you just want to implement one each trimester, and that's fine too. The idea here is to implement often so that you get the practice, so that you see progress. Let's go to the next question. How can we collaborate and share across schools? Great question. So again, I'm going to go into the 3 to 5 math shares folder. I'm in the 3 to 5 math shares folder, and I'm going to go to 3 act tasks. And I'm going to go to the 3-act task alignment. In this spreadsheet, you're going to see, you're going to see that we have a column for the task, the standards, the timing of the unit done, modifications, and who it came from. Let's say that I'm a 3rd grade teacher. I did a task called leftover candy canes. I gave the standards that it was aligned to. I gave the timing, and I wouldn't probably put any modifications. So something that I might have done and changed it so that it was a better fit for my classroom. And then if you're comfortable, put your name so that somebody else can maybe follow up with you and ask you some more questions about it. So this is a great way to collaborate and keep track of what we're doing and how we're changing it to make it fit for us. Let's go back to the questions. So question number 10. Can we create a place where teachers can make flip charts and share them? Great question, and of course you can. Let's go back into our folder. So I'm in the 3-5 folder, and I'm into 3-act tasks. And oh look, Chris Grigsby and Kathy Lazat put in 2 flip charts already. Now, remember that you can upload them right into this folder, into the 3-act tasks. However, you cannot see a preview because it's in Drive. You must download it, and then you can open it. So that's how that will look. So dump it into the folder, and then if you're looking for it, another teacher's looking for it, you just need to download it. You should be able to see it. Let's go back to the questions. Question number 11. Do you always have to have them exactly match the area of study currently going on in your room? You certainly don't have to have them always match what you're doing. You could randomly put something in and just have the kids have a break from whatever they're learning concept-wise. Or you can also choose something that complements what you're doing. So for example, you're in a unit for multiplication and division, and what could they use to get more skilled at multiplying and dividing? Factors and multiples. So you might want to put a 3-act task in there to have them practice that skill in a 3-act task, but that skill complements the concepts that you're teaching at that moment. Let's go on to the next question. And actually, I think the last question. Yeah. So how to develop some of our own, and somebody else had our students' own 3-act tasks that you can use. So I'm actually underneath here, I put that there are 4 things. 1, should be measurable. If it can't be measured, it probably can't be used for a 3-act task. However, you'd be surprised. Number 2, consider the perplexity. So not just perplexity of a math teacher's point of view, but from a student's point of view in designing. Number 3, be the student. Consider how students will react to the 3-act task, and does it lead itself naturally and organically to a question from students. And then the last thing is to have fun. And we always need to remember that with these because they are fun. The other part of this is there's also some suggestions in your playbook in the first part. And I'm going to go back into our 3 to 5 math shares. And it's in part 1. If you go in part 1, it's on the last page. In part 1, is this behind this yellow sheet. And on the last page of that section, you'll be able to find other links to help you create your own. At this point, all your questions should be answered, but I'm sure some may have more questions or maybe clarify, or maybe you heard this and thought of more questions. So whatever that is, please know that you have the support. You have your building, your math coach in your building, and you have myself, and reach out to us. We are the Sudbury Math Leadership Team. Please reach out to us for any support or help you would like or need. And that can range from talking something through to co-teaching to modeling, whatever you need. we are all here for you to support you in this initiative. So have a good day, or I hope you had a good day, depending on when you're listening to this, and we'll see you soon. I also want to make sure that you, I have written this in the email, but you will be getting another video clip from me probably Wednesday, October 14th, that is a little article and a video, and it's a way that we are going to flip our PD when we meet on October 21st. So you'll make sure you take a look out for that email from me. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.